Everyday English Podcast
by English Talking Today.
So today we're jumping straight into something really practical. How to train yourself to speak English more confidently. And honestly, David, I think this is one of the most requested topics we get from our listeners.
Oh, absolutely. Like every single week, someone leaves a comment saying, Jane, David, I understand English pretty well, but when I open my mouth, everything just disappears. And I totally get that feeling.
Right. It's like your brain just freezes. And you know what's interesting? A lot of the time, the problem isn't your vocabulary or your grammar. It's actually the small habits in the way you speak. Small habits that, once you fix them, make a huge difference.
Exactly. And today we're going to break down 8 really practical strategies, things you can start using today. Not next week, not after you finish some big grammar book, today. So let's just get right into it.
Strategy number 1, and this one is so simple but so powerful, is using proper greetings. Now, what do we mean by proper greetings? Well, the word proper, P-R-O-P-E-R, means correct and appropriate for the situation.
Yes. So for example, if you're in a professional setting, like a job interview or a business meeting, saying hey or what's up, those are too casual, too informal.
Right. Casual means relaxed and not serious. It's fine with your close friends, but in a professional situation, you want to say something like, good morning, good afternoon, or hello, how are you today?
And here's something interesting. In many Asian countries, like India, people are very respectful about this. They often address people by their title and last name. So instead of saying, hey Raj, you'd say, good morning, Mr. Sharma. That immediately shows respect and confidence.
Absolutely. And confidence, C-O-N-F-I-D-E-N-C-E, that's the feeling of trusting yourself, believing you can do something well. When you use proper greetings, you start the conversation with confidence, and that sets the tone for everything that follows.
Sets the tone. Great phrase. It means it creates the mood or feeling for what comes next. So a good greeting sets a professional, confident tone. A lazy greeting, well, it sets a sloppy tone.
Exactly. So strategy number 2, being concise. Now, concise, C-O-N-C-I-S-E, means saying what you need to say clearly without using too many unnecessary words.
This is a big one, and I think a lot of English learners, actually a lot of people in general, make the mistake of thinking that longer sentences sound smarter. But actually, the opposite is true.
Yes. The shorter and clearer you are, the more confident and intelligent you sound. Let me give you an example. Instead of saying, in the event that it rains tomorrow, we will need to postpone our outdoor activities, just say, if it rains tomorrow, we will postpone our outdoor activities.
Same meaning, right? But the second one is much cleaner, much more direct. And direct, D-I-R-E-C-T, means going straight to the point without unnecessary detours.
Here's another example. Instead of, due to the fact that she arrived late, the presentation started without her, just say, because she was late, the presentation started without her.
Crisp, clean, easy to understand. And crisp, C-R-I-S-P, it means clear, sharp, and well organized. Think of a crisp autumn morning. Everything feels clear and fresh. That's what you want your English to sound like.
Oh, I love that image. A crisp morning, yes. So remember, when you speak, don't be verbose. Verbose, V-E-R-B-O-S-E, that means using too many unnecessary words. Verbose speech makes you sound unsure and hard to understand.
Strategy 3, eliminating filler words. Now, a filler word is a word or sound we use to fill silence when we're thinking. Things like like, you know, kind of. We all do it. Even native speakers do it.
Oh, David, you are so guilty of this.
I am completely guilty. I once listened to a recording of myself explaining something to a student, and I counted 14 likes in 2 minutes. 14.
That's actually impressive in a bad way.
Right? But here's the thing. The problem isn't that you use filler words sometimes. The problem is when you use them so much that they become distracting. When people start listening to your ums instead of your actual message.
Exactly. And there's a really simple trick for this. Instead of filling the silence with or like, just pause. just be quiet for a second. A short, confident pause actually makes you sound more thoughtful, more in control.
Yes, a pause is powerful. It says, I know what I'm talking about, and I'm choosing my words carefully. An says, I'm lost.
Right. So practice pausing. It feels uncomfortable at first, but with time it becomes natural. And natural, that's the whole goal, right?
Absolutely. Strategy 4, using strong, assertive language. Now, assertive, A-S-S-E-R-T-I-V-E, means expressing yourself clearly and confidently without being rude or aggressive.
This is so important. The specific words you choose completely change how people perceive you. And perceive, P-E-R-C-E-I-V-E, means to understand or interpret something. The way people perceive your confidence depends a lot on the words you choose.
So instead of saying, I think this might be a good idea maybe, say, I believe this is a great idea. Hear the difference? The second one is so much stronger.
Or instead of, maybe we could try this approach, say, let's move forward with this approach. That one word, let's, makes you sound decisive. And decisive means you make clear decisions without hesitating.
Here's one I really love. Instead of asking, does that make sense? Which actually sounds like you're doubting yourself. Like you're asking, was I clear enough? Did I mess up? Say, let me know if you have any questions. It's open, confident, and professional.
Oh, that's such a good one. And instead of, I hope this helps, say, I'm confident this will help. Small tweak, huge difference. And tweak, T-W-E-A-K, means a small adjustment or change to make something better.
These tweaks might seem tiny, but they add up. And over time, they completely change how people see you and how you see yourself.
Strategy 5, removing unnecessary disclaimers. Now, a disclaimer, D-I-S-C-L-A-I-M-E-R, is a statement you say before something to reduce responsibility or to apologize in advance. Like, this might be a stupid question, but, or I'm not sure if this is right, but.
Yes, I hear this all the time from our listeners. They start every sentence with an apology. Sorry, maybe this is wrong, but... And every time they do that, they're already telling the listener not to take them seriously.
Exactly. When you add a disclaimer, you're weakening your own message before you even say it. It's like building a house and then immediately saying, this house might fall down.
Not very reassuring. So instead of, this might sound silly, but I think we should try a new approach, just say, I suggest we try a new approach. Strong, clean, confident.
And instead of, this might be a dumb question, but what does that word mean? Just say, could you explain what that word means? It's confident, it's professional, and honestly, there are no dumb questions in English learning, right, David?
None at all. Every question is a step forward. That's the attitude we want you to have.
Strategy 6, giving feedback the right way. Now, feedback means comments or suggestions you give to someone about their work or behavior. Good feedback helps people grow.
But how you give feedback is so important. If you're too harsh, and harsh means very direct and maybe a little unkind, you can hurt someone's confidence. But if you're too vague, vague means unclear or not specific enough, then the person doesn't know what to actually improve.
So, the best approach is to be constructive. Constructive, C-O-N-S-T-R-U-C-T-I-V-E, means helpful and focused on making things better, not just pointing out problems.
Instead of saying, your work isn't good, try, I think this could be improved by adding more detail here. You're not attacking the person. You're offering a solution.
And a great technique is to start with something positive, like, I really like how you organized this report. One way we can make it even stronger is by expanding this section. The person feels encouraged, not attacked.
Yes, because feedback should lift people up, not bring them down. And when you give feedback kindly and clearly, people respect you more. They see you as someone mature and professional.
Strategy 7, asking questions the right way. This is something a lot of learners don't think about, but it makes a huge difference. The way you ask a question affects how professional and confident you sound.
Right. Instead of saying, I don't get it, Try, excuse me, could you clarify that point? And clarify, C-L-A-R-I-F-Y, means to make something clearer and easier to understand.
Or instead of what do you mean, try could you elaborate on that? And elaborate, E-L-A-B-O-R-A-T-E, means to give more details or explain something more fully.
These phrases make you sound engaged and thoughtful. Engaged means you're actively paying attention and participating. And that's so important because communication is a two-way street. You're not just talking, you're also listening, asking, and participating.
Yes, and good questions show the other person that you are genuinely interested. Genuinely means truly, honestly, not just pretending.
So next time you're confused or need more information, don't just say, huh? Ask a clear, polite question. It makes a world of difference.
Strategy 8, and this is our last one, ending conversations professionally. A lot of people focus on how to start conversations, but forget about how to end them, and the ending is just as important.
So true. If you end a conversation too abruptly means suddenly and without warning, it can seem rude or disrespectful.
Instead of just saying, okay, bye, try, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciated this conversation. It's warm, it's polite, and it leaves a positive impression.
Or if there are next steps involved, like in a work meeting, instead of I'll follow up, say I'll send you an update by Thursday. That's specific, professional, and shows you are organized and reliable. And if you want to keep the door open for future communication, instead of talk later, say, please feel free to reach out if you have any further questions. It sounds polished, and polished, P-O-L-I-S-H-E-D, means refined, well-prepared, and professionally presented.
Exactly. A polished ending leaves people with a great impression of you, and great impressions lead to great opportunities.
So let's quickly recap all 8 strategies. Number 1, use proper greetings. Number 2, be concise and direct. Number 3, eliminate filler words and use confident pauses. Number 4, use assertive, strong language. Number 6, remove unnecessary disclaimers. Number 7, ask clear, well-structured questions. And number 8, end conversations professionally and warmly.
The big takeaway today is this. Speaking confidently in English isn't about having a perfect accent or knowing every word in the dictionary. It's about the small habits you build every single day.
Yes, and every one of these strategies is something you can practice right now. You don't need any special equipment. You don't need to be in a classroom. You just need to be aware of your habits and start making small changes. Those small changes will add up to something really big.
We believe in you. We really do. Every person who listens to English Talking Today is already doing something brave, choosing to grow, choosing to improve, and that deserves respect.
Absolutely. So go out there and practice these strategies today. Try using a confident pause next time you want to say, Try removing a disclaimer before your next idea. Notice how different it feels and how different people respond to you.
And if you found this episode helpful, please subscribe to English Talking Today. It really helps us keep making content just for you. Leave us a like, share this episode with a friend who is also learning English, and drop a comment below telling us which strategy you're going to try first. We love reading your comments.
We'll see you in the next episode. Keep practicing, keep growing, and remember, every word you speak is one step closer to the confident English speaker you are becoming.
Talk soon, everyone.